All right, so here's the newest grease ball. This is a 2002 LQ4 we pulled out of the yard. It would have been the video before last out of that 02 Denali, and now we're gonna just open it up, inspect it, and assuming everything looks good, throw it on the run stand and get this thing sold. It might sell tomorrow morning. So that's why it's dark. I've got my garage door lighting doing its work, and then yeah, so let's get this thing apart. All right, so first we're gonna pull the plugs out. All right, nothing out of the ordinary. They're NGK, so they're not original, which means it's gotten plugs at least once, but they're pretty chalky. So I'm guessing that these are gonna be done at like 100,000 and then never again. Let me get the other side out. Yep, other side, same thing. In the yards, I try not to pull the plugs. A lot of people do to make them easier to spin to get converter bolts, but obviously you saw how I usually don't even pull the converter at all. And then even if I do, have to spin the motor over, I just grab it and turn it because I want to have as little holes in the motor as possible. Okay, here, let me do the valve covers next and then flip it over. All right, not nearly as dirty as the last one. It's a lot less dirty exterior-wise as well. Yeah, that's it. It's really clean. It was in a Denali, so I'm hoping that maybe somebody actually cared about the truck. If you notice, it had aftermarket headlights and stuff. So sometimes that means horrific maintenance when it's modified, and sometimes it means someone actually cared about the truck and actually liked it. Yeah, looks really good. All right, now let's take the bottom end and have it get oil and everything all over the ground. Super dirty. Okay, there was a lot more oil in the motor than I was expecting.
Sorry, I had to save the gun. I was about to drown. Gun saved. Used pizza boxes.
So fun fact, LQ4 is always supposed to drain their motors. Most of the ones I even find don't even have drain plugs in them. So I guess this one they just forgot. But it's dark, but it doesn't look too bad. Not shiny and not sludgy. Yeah, well, as soon as normally these things start to dump some oil when I tip them over, but that was like a waterfall. Okay, that's something wrong.
Okay. Is that normal?
It's just very full of oil.
Oh my god. Yeah, you go, buddy.
All right, let's try this again. It'll dump a little bit more, but it won't be a flood. Oh, so that's interesting to note. Only water is coming out of this engine. So that means whoever owned it was like me and they weren't running coolant, which means potentially they just put a radiator in or something pretty recently. Because I don't think I've actually ever seen a car running straight water from the yard. All right, so I'm hoping this oil pan gasket comes off in one piece because I think I want to just try to reuse it. Let's see what happens. Okay, looks like it actually might have. Oh, no, it broke. Okay. All right, I'll have to grab one of my other ones. This thing's full of oil, of course. Yeah, I've never taken one of these apart with this much residual oil. Usually they were sitting for quite a while with no oil in them. So let's see how that oil pump gasket, or oil pump gasket's doing. Okay, it's got tension on it, so. The last one we took apart literally fell off as we. Okay, yeah, that's nice and stuck, good. Okay, looks good. Can we get the windows tray? See what we got. Cool, so bearings all look good, no pieces of anything. It's really chocolatey in there, so it's really hard to see. But I don't see any broken piston or anything from here, what I can tell. But yeah, no carnage, everything looks okay. Obviously does not have my beloved Gen 4 connecting rods because it's an 02. But let's go ahead and start putting everything back together, flip it over, and then start racking it up on this, which is gonna take a while, but I wanna see how fast I can do it. Done it a few times now. All right, so I grabbed one of my new used oil pan gaskets. Let's put this on. It's probably gonna leak really bad, but I think this pan's coming right back off. So hopefully it holds for now. All right, pan is on. We've got a lot more carburetor in here now, so we're not slipping all over the place. And normally I have a much cleaner oil pan, but I technically sold it with the last one. And then I didn't clean this one because this motor, like I said, I might be selling it tomorrow morning. So, kind of crunch for time. All right, so we got the Holley 300-132 single plane. And then I'll get that on there, and then we can lift it up and then start racking it up and then start throwing all the goodies on. I figure while I'm here, I'll throw on the, what is that? I think S10 LS swap mounts.
Okay.
Sorry.
What?
Tell me when.
Yeah, I said okay.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pull off this flex plate. I'm gonna run my F-Body LS1 flywheel because it's got a little bit more weight and it makes it idle a little bit more normal. But to get this off, I'm gonna use my ICCT billet flywheel locker. It just replaces where the starter goes, engages so that you can actually crank on the motor and not have it just spin the crank. Right, as you can see, bolted in. Engaged with the teeth, and then now I can get the crank bolt. And then here we got the big 30-pound flywheel, and just bolt it up. Okay, and then the last piece is my LS1 T56 bell housing. This is the thing that I keep saying I want to replace. I want this to use this on an actual car, and then hopefully next time we go to the yard I can actually pull off one of the 4L60E bell housings, since there's literally like 50 at the yard at any given time. So naturally, the feet of the hoist and this bar on the run stand are the exact same height. So in order to actually put engines on here, I need to get my a jack in here and then just get everything lined up just right. All right, so that's solid. There we go. Cool. Rack. So now just to throw everything else on. Alright, starter's in. Went and grabbed some clean valve covers. So one less part of the motor will be getting me totally filthy. Alright, header time. Okay, now coil packs.
When?
Shoot, I should have done that. Okay, now just to do all the connections from the 6014 box, there's passenger coil packs, driver's side coil packs over here, and then the cam and crank sensors. All right, so it's just about racked up. I think we're done for tonight. I think first thing in the morning, we just gotta throw the carb on, throw fuel in it, oil in it, spark plugs, and a battery, and it'll be ready to fire. Okay, so full of oil, battery's hooked up, plugs are still out, and I'm just gonna let it run for like 30 seconds and get the oil pump to prime.
Okay.
So the carburetor's on. Normally we use that 4160. That thing's acting up, so I went and grabbed the QFT 750 double pumper. Pretty extreme carburetor. I actually like this thing a lot because it's got sight glass instead of sight plugs, so I can actually see the float level in the bowls, which is way better for having to constantly drain and fill them to take it on and off. through a set of brand new TR55s. It's my go-to LS spark plug, and that just rules out, you know, if it runs because of plugs or whatever. So that's in, mufflers are on, everything's hooked up, and then now just, yeah, to give it power and see what fires off.